Bulldog. The modern bulldog is a descendant of the ancient mastiff-type dogs used in the brutal sport of bull baiting. In the 1300s, these dogs were bred for extreme aggression and a physical structure that allowed them to grip a bull by the nose and hold on despite the animal's struggle. The breed's low center of gravity and massive jaw were biological requirements for surviving these encounters. After bull baiting was banned in 1835, the breed underwent a radical transformation. Enthusiasts worked to eliminate the aggressive traits, resulting in the affectionate and courageous companion known today. The bulldog is characterized by its heavy wrinkles, pushed-in nose, and a wide, shuffling gait. Physically, the breed is prone to overheating due to its shortened muzzle, which limits its ability to cool itself through panting. They are a low-energy breed that requires minimal exercise but constant monitoring of their breathing and temperature. Despite their formidable appearance, they are known for a gentle and loyal temperament that has made them a national symbol of British resolve. They are also a masterpiece of flatulence, capable of clearing a room in seconds without ever opening their eyes. English Pointer. The English Pointer is a biological machine optimized for a single objective. If a high-performance endurance athlete were stripped of all personality and rebuilt as a ballistic missile, it would be a pointer. While its modern identity is rooted in the British Isles, the breed's origins trace back to the Iberian Peninsula and the Spanish pointers brought to England in 1712. Breeders synthesized these Spanish roots with local foxhounds, greyhounds, and bloodhounds to create a predator that combines the olfactory endurance of a scent hound with the aerodynamic speed of a sight hound. Physically, the pointer features a unique dish-face muzzle where the bridge of the nose is slightly concave. This anatomical structure serves a specific mechanical purpose by enhancing air intake while the dog runs at speeds up to 35 miles per hour, allowing it to catch airborne scent molecules from the wind. When the dog detects game, it enters a cataleptic state where it stands completely rigid with one paw raised and its tail held straight. This behavior is a genetic fixation of the natural predatory pause that occurs before a pounce. The pointer does not merely find birds, it becomes a living signpost. These dogs operate at a high metabolic rate and possess an intense focus that makes them appear independent or high-strung in the field. They are capable of finding fresh water in extreme environments, a trait documented in a pointer named Judy who served as a ship's dog during the Second World War. Despite their intense working drive, they transition into patient companions within a domestic setting, though they require a high volume of physical activity to prevent anxiety. If a pointer is not given a job, it will invent one, which usually involves rearranging the upholstery of your sofa with surgical precision. Basset Hound. The Basset Hound is a specialized scent hound whose name is derived from the French word for low. It was originally bred by French monks during the Middle Ages to be a heavy-boned, slow-moving tracker that a hunter on foot could easily follow. The physical design of the Basset is entirely functional, featuring extremely short legs that keep the nose in constant proximity to the ground. Its long, drooping ears serve a mechanical purpose beyond aesthetics. As the dog moves with its head down, the ears sweep across the terrain to stir up scent molecules and funnel them toward the nostrils. The Basset possesses a one-track mind when following a trail, showing a level of tenacity that often borders on total defiance. In a domestic environment, the Basset is famously laid back and possesses a calm, gentlemanly demeanor. However, its heavy bone structure and deep chest require careful management to prevent physical strain. They are tough, persistent trackers, capable of working through challenging environments despite their seemingly comical appearance. They are also prolific droolers, capable of coating an entire living room in a fine layer of slime in under 60 seconds. Living with a Basset involves accepting that your furniture is now communal property, and your shins will be regularly collided with by 60 pounds of low-slung muscle. Old English Sheepdog. The Old English Sheepdog is a large, shaggy drover dog developed in the western counties of England. Despite its name, its primary role was not as a traditional sheepdog but as a drover, moving cattle and sheep over long distances to market. To identify them as working animals and exempt their owners from taxes, these dogs often had their tails docked, earning them the nickname bobtail. The breed's most striking feature is its profuse double coat, which consists of a waterproof undercoat and a shaggy outer layer. This coat provided essential protection against the harsh, damp climate of the English countryside. Underneath the fur is a strong, square body and a characteristic pottering gait that allows the dog to move herds efficiently for hours. They possess a loud ringing bark that is described as having a cracked bell tone, which they use to communicate with the herd and the drover. In a domestic setting, they are intelligent and playful, though their herding instinct can sometimes lead them to try and herd family members. Their coat requires extensive grooming, often taking 4 hours a week to prevent matting and maintain its protective qualities. They are essentially a walking rug with a personality, possessing a level of energy that is often hidden by their massive volume of hair. English setter. The English setter is a specialist of the upland hunt defined by behavior known as setting. Before the widespread use of firearms, hunters used large nets to capture birds, which required a dog that would crouch low to the ground rather than stand upright. This physical positioning allowed the hunter to cast the net over both the dog and the quarry without the animal becoming entangled. The modern lineage of the breed was refined in the 19th century by Edward Laverack and Purcell Llewellyn, who diverged the breed into distinct show and field lines. The Laverack line is characterized by a long, silky coat and a specific flecked pattern called Belton, named after a village in England. The Llewellyn line is smaller and more muscular, built for the high-intensity requirements of competitive field trials. In terms of performance, the English setter is a methodical worker that ranges less than a pointer but is less likely to miss birds hidden in dense, thorny undergrowth. Its thick coat acts as biological armor against the brambles and thickets of the British countryside. While they are capable of high speeds when released into the field, they are known for a mellow temperament indoors. They are currently classified as a vulnerable breed by several kennel clubs due to declining registration numbers. This status has led to specialized conservation efforts among enthusiasts to preserve the genetic health of both the show and working lineages. They are often described as the gentlemen of the dog world, a title they maintain until they see a puddle, at which point all dignity is abandoned in favor of becoming a swamp creature. Beagle. The beagle is a small to medium-sized scent hound bred for a practice known as beagling, which involves hunting rabbits and hares on foot. Its primary sensory tool is a nose containing 220 million scent receptors, a massive biological advantage compared to the 5 million receptors found in humans. Because they were bred to work in large packs, they possess a social temperament that lacks the territorial aggression often found in solitary hunting breeds. A defining characteristic of the beagle is its musical baying, a deep and resonant bark that carries over long distances. This allows a hunter to track the progress of the pack through dense woods, even when the dogs are not visible. The physical structure of the beagle is sturdy and low to the ground, providing a low center of gravity that aids in following scent trails through thick ground cover. The social nature of the breed makes them prone to loneliness if they are separated from their pack or human family for extended periods. When left alone, they often resort to incessant baying as a form of vocalized distress. Despite their small size, they possess high endurance and the ability to maintain a steady pace during a marathon-style hunt. They are also notoriously stubborn, possessing a selective hearing system that activates the moment their nose touches the ground. If a beagle finds a scent trail, the owner becomes a secondary character in their life, existing only as a source of food and occasional ear scratches. Jack Russell Terrier. The Jack Russell Terrier is a high-intensity earth dog created by Reverend John Russell in the early 1800s. The goal of the breeding program was to produce a small, fearless dog that could keep up with foxhounds but was compact enough to dive into a fox den. The foundation of the breed began with a bitch named Trump, who was selected for her white coat, which allowed hunters to easily distinguish her from the red fox during the chaos of a hunt. The breed is essentially a large dog's personality contained within a small, muscular frame. They possess a biological drive to dig, bark, and investigate that is hardwired into their DNA. Their intelligence is high, but they are known for being hard-headed, often requiring varied training sessions to prevent boredom. The Jack Russell is capable of flushing or bolting a fox from its burrow to continue the chase. Because of their powerful prey drive, they are generally not compatible with smaller household animals like cats or rodents. They are relentless investigators that require an active environment to satisfy their need for constant movement and exploration. If a Jack Russell is bored, it will find a way to disassemble your vacuum cleaner or reorganize your garden by digging a series of trenches that would impress a military engineer. Airedale Terrier. The Airedale Terrier is the largest of the terrier breeds and is known as the King of Terriers. It originated in the Valley of Ayr in Yorkshire, England, where it was initially used to hunt river rats and otters. Its size and versatile intelligence eventually led to more complex roles, including service as the primary messenger dog for the British Army during the First World War. These dogs carried vital dispatches through trenches under heavy fire, relying on their sturdy, muscular frames to navigate the battlefield. The Airedale features a wiry, weather-resistant coat and a deep chest built for endurance. Their temperament is determined and feisty, yet they are often more sensible than smaller, more excitable terrier breeds. They are capable of working in guarding, hunting, and competitive obedience roles, showing a versatility that is rare in the terrier group. Despite their modern status as companions, They retain a classic terrier stubbornness and a high prey drive. They are a physical and mental match for most tasks, possessing the power to handle larger game while maintaining the scenting ability required for tracking. Their legacy is one of rugged utility and reliable service in both civilian and military contexts. They possess a sense of humor that is often described as clownish, though this usually manifests as them deciding that they no longer wish to follow your instructions in favor of doing something significantly more interesting. Bull Mastiff. The Bull Mastiff was engineered in 19th century England to serve as the gamekeeper's night dog. Its primary purpose was to guard large estates against poachers, a task that required a dog with immense physical power and a silent approach. The breed is a cross between the large, heavy Mastiff and the aggressive Bulldog of the era, resulting in a protector that weighs between 100 and 130 pounds. Unlike many guard dogs that are bred to bite, the Bull Mastiff was trained to track poachers silently and then pin them to the ground using its weight. This allowed the gamekeeper to make an arrest without the poacher being severely injured by the dog. They possess a short, dense coat and a massive, square head with a powerful jaw. Their temperament is one of quiet confidence and intense loyalty to their family. They are known for being protective and aloof with strangers, but are famously gentle with children within their own household. Because of their history as silent guardians, they do not bark frequently, preferring to use their physical presence to deter threats. They are essentially 130 pounds of sentient muscle that believes it is a lapdog. If a Bull Mastiff decides to sit on you, your plans for the next hour are effectively cancelled. English Springer Spaniel. The English Springer Spaniel is a medium-sized gun dog designed to work as a master of the thicket. Its name describes its primary mechanical function, which is to spring or flush game out of impenetrable cover for the hunter. Descended from the ancient land spaniels of Spain and refined in Britain, the Springer is a high-energy tool that operates in a tight windshield wiper pattern. It stays within 30 yards of the handler to ensure that any flushed game remains within range of a shotgun. The breed possesses a high level of intelligence and a refined olfactory system that has transitioned well into modern security roles. They are frequently utilized by military and police forces as sniffer dogs to detect explosives and contraband in active conflict zones. A Springer Spaniel was awarded the Dickin Medal for bravery for its service with the British Army during the Second World War, highlighting the breed's historical resilience under pressure. Their physical build is agile and compact, allowing them to navigate shallow water and dense brush with equal efficiency. They possess a soft mouth grip, a genetic trait that allows them to retrieve rabbits and birds without damaging the meat. Because of their relentless energy, they are essentially the canine equivalent of a caffeine overdose. They do not walk. They vibrate with the anticipation of the next ball throw. If left understimulated, they are known to develop obsessive-compulsive behaviors, such as staring at a single shadow on the wall for 4 hours.